When we first made contact with humanity, we were taken aback. It isn't every day that an interplanetary government overlooks an entirely new sentient species within its own territory. Sure, the region was relatively unimportant and undeveloped, but the sheer volume of radio signals humans were sending out into space left our leaders without any excuse. The reasons for this oversight could wait, but the humans could not. They had already deciphered our language and were attempting to communicate with one of our colony worlds, which they had apparently been observing for about a year. Fortunately, the galactic bureaucracy had protocols for first contact scenarios, typically reserved for primitive species discovering FTL travel. A 100 light-year sphere around Earth was designated as human space, though 30% of it overlapped with Karkan territory, something we'll discuss later. Upon making contact, humanity surprised us even more with their appearance and behavior. Earth was on the high end of the gravitational spectrum for planets capable of developing spacefaring life. If Earth's gravity were any stronger, their early space endeavors might have failed, as we've seen with other species, unless uplifted, which is rare. For those unfamiliar with humans, let me explain. Most high-gravity species are about half the size of humans at their largest and solve problems collectively using their intelligence and numbers against larger predators. Humans, however, are not particularly large by galactic standards, with an average height just under half the galactic norm. Despite this, they are remarkably strong compared to both other high-gravity species and the average galactic species. Their movements appeared ungainly and mechanical, honed by a lifetime under high gravity. This earned them a reputation as clumsy strongmen, a stereotype reinforced by their boundless optimism and unflappability, except when it came to their history. Human diplomats blushed and squirmed when discussing their rather typical history of conflict, only to be reassured by our diplomats that such wars were not monstrous. The stereotypes persisted, especially regarding humans' penchant for brute force solutions. Their engineers often employed percussive maintenance, famously quipping, "The only surprising thing about a human smashing a delicate machine is that it starts working afterward." As we learned more about humanity, they became the subject of bureaucracy jokes. Humans discovered this, of course, and our government braced for retribution. Yet true to form, humans laughed along and even shared self-deprecating jokes, further dispelling any fears we had about them. One joke suggested that humans would surrender their home world without a fight if invaded. For years, humanity expanded within their allotted space, establishing mining stations, colonies, and trade deals. They were natural laborers, with galactic average intelligence combined with immense strength and energy, producing resources and consumer goods like no other species. An economic golden age seemed imminent until a key trade deal collapsed. Early in their interstellar trade, humans signed a lucrative agreement with the Sark stellar gospel, a devout avian species keen on peaceful conversion. This deal was pivotal to the human economy, enabling unprecedented production. Then disaster struck. A human leader led the Sark to galactic Jehovah's Witnesses, annoyed by their relentless evangelism despite valuing them as trade partners. This remark reached the Sark High Speaker, who, offended, severed all trade with the godless and ungrateful species and demanded an embargo. Mourning their lost home world, yet remained steadfast, determined to see the war through. Humanity's fleet retook territory, pushing the Karkans back to their borders. Only then did the Karkan government surrender, their fleet battered and starving. High General Eratas and High Admiral Bakil met the diminished Karkan Infinite Admiral. Every non-human present pitied the defeated Karkan as he offered his surrender, imploring mercy for his people. To our astonishment, General Eratas accepted, declaring Karkan lands would become human, their people treated as equals. Admiral Bakil announced the Admiral's execution for Earth's destruction, but postponed it to focus on aiding Karkan recovery. The humans peacefully annexed Karkan space, distributing preserved food to the starving populace and releasing counteragents to cleanse ranch worlds of previous biological attacks. In time, human and Karkan efforts restored their territories to self-sufficiency. Karkan integration into the Human Emirate Republic proceeded smoothly. Raised to respect might, they honored humanity's mercy, recognizing their conqueror's strength. The once feared Karkans became valued allies, their faith in humanity unwavering. Expecting human outrage at the impending economic downturn, we were surprised when they remained unfazed. They apologized for the offending leader, acknowledging the economic hit, which took 2 decades to recover. Only one other species, the notoriously isolationist, no-contact for you Xenoscum Empire, joined the embargo. Humanity's troubles didn't end there. During their economic recovery, the Karkan Infinite Armada discovered them, a threat we had hoped to keep at bay. The Karkans, a militaristic power capable of challenging the entire bureaucracy, had clashed with every member at some point. Now this juggernaut targeted the fledgling human empire. The Karkans were eager to test humanity's strength, and when their representative barged into the bureaucracy's meeting chamber, war was declared on humanity. Once again, the humans didn't flinch. Humans sought our aid in defending their territory, but we dared not provoke the Karkans. We explained the hopelessness of resistance, even united. The humans nodded, thanked us, and excited the chamber to plan their response. A few days later, humans and Karkans met in the bureaucracy to negotiate. To everyone's surprise, the Karkans only demanded a 10-light-year buffer zone, a modest request until we realized it encompassed Earth. Pitying the humans, we expected their characteristic surrender. Instead, the human representative's silence ended with a sentence that I still keep framed on my desk. We of the Human Emirate Republic have deemed these terms unacceptable. Prepare for war. With that, humans declared war on the galaxy's mightiest military power, unfazed by the odds. A month into the conflict, humanity's fleet transformed. They rapidly built massive ships, their industrious nature on full display. Out of spite, they proposed a total embargo on the Karkan Armada, urging us to sign it, given our inability to aid them militarily. We all agreed, even the isolationists. 2 months later, the human High General, Felicia Aradas, and High Admiral, Simon Bakio, met the Karkan Infinite Admiral, who rejected the humans' proposed rules of engagement. Tearing their document apart, he demanded an unrestrained war to test humanity's limits. Once again, humans didn't flinch, nodding and leaving the meeting. The war began, and humans struggled initially. Their fleet retreated, but their massive ships remained unseen, presumed to defend colonies. That belief crumbled when the Karkans reached a human colony world. Finding no resistance, the Karkans bombarded the planet unopposed, sparking outrage within the bureaucracy. Yet humans remained unperturbed, reminding us of their earlier plea for aid. Reports soon revealed the colony was evacuated, wasting Karkan munitions on an empty world. In retaliation, humans launched precise biological strikes on Karkan ranch worlds, devastating their livestock and crippling their food supply. With over 90% of their food production lost and the bureaucracy embargo in place, the Karkans faced starvation. In a single operation, humanity condemned billions to die without lifting a finger. Karkan attempts to strike human agricultural worlds met fierce resistance. Humans protected their food sources with fervor, exploiting their strength and size in boarding actions. The Karkans learned quickly, rigging ships to explode rather than face capture. Months of brutal conflict ensued, claiming thousands of lives. The Karkans eventually ravaged human agriculture, but humanity, omnivorous by nature, adapted by growing food aboard ships. They preemptively destroyed their agricultural worlds, ensuring nothing remained for the Karkans. With Karkan society on the brink, reports of riots and cannibalism emerged. The Infinite Admiral ordered public executions of human prisoners, mainly farmers who stayed to maintain the farms as long as possible. Once more, humanity remained unfazed, offering condolences to the families of those lost. They declined our offer to sell food, aware that mass production could destabilize the galactic economy. Instead, they produced and preserved vast quantities of food, enough to last centuries. The mysterious ships humans built were Ark ships, colossal vessels carrying civilians into deep space, laden with supplies. Humanity bided its time. Desperate, the Infinite Admiral launched a full assault on Sol, culminating in a gravitational catalyst shattering Earth into pieces. News of Earth's destruction shocked us, witnessing humanity's first display of emotion since first contact. They wept,